Mim Alif nak mana?
Mim Alif WI Mawi.
Mim Alif on Maon.
Mim Alif Jid Majid.
Yeah, anak mau ni datang lagi. Suara dari hati. Budak SD mari sini. Bawa cinta, bawa erti. Yo.
Bersama-sama kami berempat di dalam podcast
Mana dan Mawi.
Yo, mic check.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. Together with the three of us, saya Mim Alif nak mana.
Saya Mim Alif WI Mawi.
Aku Mim Alif on Maon.
Bersama-sama kami bertiga di dalam podcast
Mana dan Mawi.
Episod hari ini dibawakan khas untuk anda oleh Dear Elegance Events. Boleh hubungi talian 845-237-69 ataupun boleh ke social media mereka dear.elegance, TikTok, Instagram @dearelegance, Facebook Dear Elegance Events dan juga email deareleganceevents@gmail.com.
Dan anda juga mendapatkan services Dear Elegance, catering, event planner, wedding planner, live station, corporate event, birthday parties, wedding decorations dan rental of table. Kurang ajar.
okay. Dan sempena
Mampus kau.
Dan sempena kolaborasi bersama Mana Mawi, mereka telah menyediakan sebuah promo code yang diberikan nama Dear MNM, DERMNM, untuk anda mendapatkan potongan harga sebanyak $200. Dapatkan selagi stok masih ada. Dapatkan, gunakanlah tanpa was-was. Iaitu Dear Elegance Events,
Creating your magical dreams.
Dia bukan making your magical dreams. Making your dreams comes true.
Okay.
Making your magic
Di bahagian
mic.
kedua,
Making your dreams wet.
di bahagian kedua tentang bully-bully ni. Tadi dalam first episode kita nak buat disclaimer sekali lagi lah. Senang kena baring macam gitu. Kita tadi dalam episod pertama kita telah sedikit sebanyak berkongsi pengalaman kita membuli ataupun dibuli. Walaupun dalam
ataupun di tak sengaja.
Dah, tak payah explain. Makin nampak kau yang salah.
No, but the thing is that we must make it very clear that we do not condone this. And this is something which is quite
Very serious.
it's very serious.
Very
It's
serious,
causing
very
concern
serious.
sekarang.
Yes.
Sebab baru-baru ni telah pun tular di laman sosial.
Viral.
Kemas kini bukan
Tak, dia aku saja dia.
Kau trying to sound smart kan. Kemas kini is apa?
Update.
Betul. Kemas kini.
Okay. So
Kau sebenarnya semenjak ni apa Melayu nak step bagus lah.
maklumlah.
Itu hari apa dalam apa?
Tu ada
aja word Melayu
tapi
je.
konteksnya salah.
Ya, lampu isyarat.
Lampu
Siapa
isyarat.
pakai lampu isyarat lagi sekarang? Orang pakai traffic light je bro. Lampu isyarat. Melayu isyarat Kiwak.
Okay. Serius lah.
Jelah.
Topik serius ni.
Okay.
Di negara jiran telah pun tular
Negara jiran bukan jiran Okay.
Jiran, kalau jiran jauh sikit kat Jepun.
Betul.
Negara jiran
Spesifik zebra crossing kena juga.
telah pun viral pasal satu kes yang I think it became a case of national interest. It's not only national interest tapi regional
Ya betul.
Dan kat Singapore ni baru-baru ni telah pun kita is being made known to us lah on the media pasal budak-budak 9 tahun darjah 3. Dia bukan sahaja bully budak, tapi dia sampai leave voice note untuk
Threaten.
causing bodily harm to the parents and the family.
Let's talk about yang paling serius lah yang Zara ni.
I don't really follow, tapi bagi aku benda ni it's a lot. It's not okay. Dia bully, tapi it's also part of ragging. Correct me if I'm wrong lah.
Apa definisi ragging tu?
Ragging tu kira macam it's right of passage. Is it macam right of passage, macam kau budak baru, kau
Okay,
to be,
you are like
Okay.
entitled to be reg lah kira.
it's not entitled to be rag lah.
Tapi dia
but
bukan budak baru sah dia.
dia bukan. I don't really follow the story, ironically.
You know what the kau tahu
basically
the
dia
chronology.
junior.
Kau tahu the chronology of
Senior bully junior kan.
Okay, aku don't really know the full chronology, but it's basically senior bully junior punya.
And it's quite normal
kejadian lah.
dalam asrama-asrama, hostel-hostel.
Tak payah hostel, kita pergi sekolah biasa.
sekolah
pun ada
bahasa
dia punya.
NUS pun sekali macam gitu
And
juga.
dulu NS pun ada Lau Chow, Sin Chow, Old Bird, New Bird.
Yeah.
So to us, apa yang membezakan what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. Macam dulu kita pernah kat Singapore ragging one of the uniform service sampai mati budak tu. Padahal benda yang dibuat tu is nothing new. They have been doing that same
For many
thing
years.
for many
The
years.
tradition it become a tradition.
Betul. Sampai, but the only thing is unfortunately a life was lost lah. So how do you define what is acceptable, what is not? Bagi aku, I have to be very careful when I'm saying this because aku tak nak make it seem that aku condone this. Tapi like what tadi Mawan cakap at the end of the first episode, this is actually part and parcel of growing up. Okay, but to what extent?
Yes.
Alright, kita semua pernah gone through this phase where kita pernah ada dibully ataupun membuli ataupun kita pernah nampak orang kena bully and something like that. So what is the limit? Bagi korang macam mana?
Asal aku macam ada rasa-rasa kita nak kena cancel
No. But this is speaking for opinion.
Ni opinion matters.
Tiba-tiba tak pernah berbual terasa pula.
Aku rasa bully comes in many forms.
Correct.
Kita tahu there's even now sekarang ada cyberbullying.
Of course.
Dah ada.
And there's even a law.
Yeah, even my daughter face that. Remember dulu lah dia kena it become very toxic for her. Tambah kat sekolah malu, that cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Number 2 is physical bullying.
Yep.
Then another one is verbal, emotional. Pasal bila kau dah terlalu verbal, it becomes emotional lah.
Correct. It affects your
ada yang tak sengaja boleh bully.
Dah kau diam. Kau diam.
Aku try so much lah. Yeah. But untuk this case, maybe you can call it ragging, but it comes to dah sampai keterlaluan. It goes overboard. Because apa? Pada aku, kalau macam okay, what is overboard? Maybe untuk aku kena keropok ramai. Okay, pasal it's just keropok.
This is your opinion
Untuk aku lah. Pasal aku pernah kena apa? Pernah kena keropok apa?
Disclaimer.
Tapi marah-marah. Tapi kau riba balik to make sure kau buat aku buatkan kau balik. Kau jangan
banyak cincong.
Jangan banyak cincong.
Betul.
That's okay pada aku. Tapi kalau kau yang selalu kena rimbat ni, kau kena ni semua, at one time engkau mesti meletup ya.
Either kau meletup ataupun you gonna die.
Atau kau rabak. Then that's what happened to American country sekarang. Pasal sampai kena bully, sampai kena singkir, sampai kena pulau. No, just diorang lagi ada gun law kau tahu. That's what happened. It because of the reason bullying.
Yeah, correct.
Pasal dia kena bully dulu, pasal dia dipulaukan, dia budak tu mesti gitu. Alas semua kena tembak.
Betul.
Nasib baik Singapore tak macam gitu belok. Tapi untuk yang si Zara ni, yang apa yang aku rasa overboard is bila kau dah cause bodily harm.
Yeah, inflict bodily harm.
Inflict.
And not
Pukul,
only that, constant
constantly. Pasal apa? Dia ada internal injuries. It comes to that, sampai internal injuries. And she was left to die.
To die.
Tapi longkang. And there also reports yang sebenarnya dia orang masukkan je dalam washing machine.
Ada video.
But it was determined it was false, fake news.
Aku tak tahu lah whether masuk dalam ni ke tidak.
Yang masuk dalam washing machine ke dryer tu was fake news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
correct.
anyways, the thing is bila kau dah have that, bila postmortem kau dah have that bruises
Yeah.
kau dah boleh dah tahu dia bukan kena sekali je. Ini has been doing, dah kena berkali-kali.
And
Dah berlarutan.
to point out one similar case that happened dekat negara jiran tu juga. I think one of the military college, satu budak ni kena tak apalah, berbual je lah. Ada background music macam betul lagu sedih.
Okey lah, itu hari kan mak mentua aku mak mentua aku busy bro, aku nak edit.
Okay. So I think one of the previous cases was actually one of the military college. Dia sampai it even I think one of the injuries that was sustained by the victim was I think something foreign inserted into one of the crevices of his body. I think something foreign inserted into one of the crevices of his body. Tak tahu mana belakang
FOD
ke,
lah.
something like that. There's even kesan setrika panas.
Oh.
And to me that is overboard. Dah sampai macam kau bukan berdendam, kau macam you want to inflict pain, macam dah torture tau. And during the investigation, during the court hearing, they even say that budak ni bukan saja kena keropok ramai, tapi dia kena tahan ramai-ramai macam satu orang datang dan inflict bodily harm.
Yeah.
It's like bloody torture tau.
Even lepas yang Zara case Malaysia Zara happen in Sabah kan?
Yeah.
Di Sabah. Then after that
She's from Sabah.
Singapore. Then after that Indonesia pun kena. Pasal yang the one of the army personnel, bapak je mengamuk.
Yes.
Ini aku tak tahu.
Bapak dia pun army, anak dia pun army.
Bapak je no, something happen, I think during training
Kena
apa.
pukul
Kita
dan
belum tahu lagi, but it's still in inquiry lah.
So that raised the question, where does it stop? When is I would say it's okay, but what is considered dah overboard?
Okay. So going back to aku punya story earlier on. So why is it okay? Okay. Why is it
Acceptable.
we keep it within our own class
Okay.
and not allow other classes to do it to raise hand? It's because kita tahu kita punya line. So
Okay.
our line is, after aku dah kacau kau macam gini, aku akan buat baik kau balik. We will settle down and then we still move on dengan kita punya daily life.
Okay.
So kita punya line is, orang tu dah, okay, bullying ni dia akan bermula untuk on the surface is to test satu orang tu.
Okay.
Itu punca bullying.
Whether boleh angkat tak boleh angkat lah.
So okay,
Whether dia girik ke tidak.
macam mana kau nak test itu up to individual. Some people nak test whether kau gerik ke tidak. Some people nak test whether kau boleh angkat tak boleh angkat. Some people nak test kau kuat tak kuat. So dia ada macam-macam. Itu depends on the individual yang buat. But apa yang buat benda ni jadi terlampau is kau tak draw kau punya line.
But why in the first place kau nak kena buat gitu to that someone?
Yeah. Why is there
Why must you test that somebody's punya limitation just to prove? You have to, kau nak kena prove yourself ke? Or you want a audience.
True.
That's the thing. Aku understand kau. Pasal kau nak, sometimes kita nak kena tengok dia ni girik ke tidak. Then but why in the first place you need to
Why is
test?
there even a need
Yeah, you need to do that.
Answering your question, going back to where aku cakap, it depends on the individuals itself. So apa niat orang tu buat?
Niat tuan.
But at the end of the day, macam aku cakap, to line. So pada akulah, what happened to Zara was dorang tak ada line. And bila Zara makin tak melawan, dorang rasa dorang ni superior.
Okay, but
And they keep on stepping.
talking about line, this is a very slippery slope though. Because what is okay for me, what is my threshold might not be the same for you. Mungkin bagi aku, I will stop at tahap physical harm. Tapi mungkin bagi kau physical harm masih okay lagi, as long as dia tak tinggalkan tanda. Mungkin pada lagi satu orang tinggalkan tanda okay, tapi as long as dia is not somewhere visible, hidden. So if you want to talk about the threshold, the line, the limit, it is like I said, it's slippery slope lah, very dangerous because it's up to individuals' interpretation. Yes, I understand the part where macam tadi Mak On cakap, you keep it within the inner circle. At least kau dengan kau so-called, okay, for the lack of a better word, victim and assailant tahu what is expected.
Mak dia assailant kan aku.
What is expected, what will be the consequences and what will be the mitigating punya follow up lah. Misal kata macam tadi kau cakap, walaupun korang kacau-kacau dia, korang tolak-tolak dia, tapi korang dah standby, dia pun pukul balik.
Yes.
And at the same time korang pun jaga dia. Kalau orang lain bully, korang akan masuk and defend dia. Okay. And then again, I would like to emphasize, this is not condoning, okay, but at least this is some form of control that korang ada lah. Bringing back to the experiences that we all had about ragging during national service and everything. We have that junior senior thing, lau chow sin chow. Normal bullying macam
otai sengkit.
Lain tu lain. Singkit pukul 8 tutup air. Dia akan budak baru semua akan kena buat jadi boy.
Jadi boy.
Bagi aku tu normal. Itu normal. Time aku budak baru kena campak dalam pond. Itu normal.
Pon apa dia?
Pon
Adalah
dan.
kat dan apa?
Dan
sing. Sing apa?
Singapore.
Oh apa? Oh dah. Budak baru kena bersihkan bird cage. Budak baru kena beli makan. Walaupun siap, walaupun leceh, tapi it's normal. Tapi let's take example yang SDF punya case normal kena dunking dalam itu perigi.
Okay.
Tapi oleh kerana mungkin dorang went overboard. You see the threshold, the line can easily be crossed. All it needs is just one overzealous orang yang betul-betul semangat taiknya. Orang semua sikit-sikit je lah. Tapi datang macam hari tu mungkin dia wake up on the wrong side of the bed ke apa. Hari ni aku rasa macam aku nak torture lebih sikit lah. And that selalu macam that lebih sikit yang selalu mendatangkan kemudaratan lah.
Itu je masuk dalam perigi kan.
Perigi.
It's
And it's
well,
nothing new. It has been an ongoing tradition.
So like I said again, pada aku the mistake for Zara was korang dah tahu dia tak melawan.
But you
So apa lancau lagi korang nak pergi
masih
bully dia?
buat.
Tak, aku bingit mana kawan dia Syah. Yang baru sekarang nak voice out.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Takut
Kenapa
bro.
kau tak boleh?
Takut.
Okay, so from what aku been read, yang aku dah baca a bit here and there. So these figures yang buat dia on a daily basis is the prominent figure dalam asrama tu.
Kira the senior tapi dalam
Kapla.
the student council.
Kapla boot lah.
Okay.
So when things happen to her, and she's not someone yang suka menyanyi.
Yeah.
Zara itself dia what they explain dia tak suka menyanyi.
Yeah.
So kau suruh aku ambil air, aku pergi ambil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kau cucikan baju, okay. I just don't want trouble.
Yalah.
Just want to get over it lah.
I just get it done and over. So pada aku, kau buat 1 kali, 2 kali,
Masih boleh angkat lah.
masuk ke 3 kali, kau tengok dia macam gitu. So, apa lancau lagi kau nak thrill dengan dia? Tak ada thrill, Syul.
Yeah.
There's one word that you used in the first episode tadi, Manap. Psychopath. Psychopathic behavior, narcissistic behavior.
Ini consider narcissistic ke?
Because kau tak puas. You find satisfaction in seeing people suffering.
Yeah.
And especially if that suffering is directly related to you. Macam I caused that suffering. Macam puas hati aku. So this
Ini
is
sick, Asyul.
Precisely. This is a sickness. This is a disease, you see. Because and among us, kita tak tahu. Jangan cakap pasal diri sendiri lah. Mungkin aku tak tahu yang, for example, contoh, Manap, you have this narcissistic behavior. So mungkin dalam group, cukup lah. Then Manap cakap, tak, aku masih nak buat lagi benda ni. Masih nak buat ni. And it makes matters worse if the person having this narcissistic behavior is somebody who is a leader in the group or somebody who's...
Define narcissistic. Define.
Bila kau cakap, tak, aku pasti dah lain kau pakai Manap. Aku teringat nasib budak yang kena badan dia jatuh tangga.
Tak, tu bukan salah Manap, tu salah budak tu. Budak tu langgar dia.
Salah patut je buat apa
Kau masih
staircase tu pun salah. Dia design nak kena buat two way.
kepala kotak lah, bodoh lah.
Jadi one down one up. Dia salah.
Down je lah. No, but seriously, like I said, it is very dangerous when orang yang ada narcissistic behavior tu is somebody in that group who has a certain power or authority.
Yeah.
So apa dia cakap jalan lah.
Yeah.
Putting for example macam kira the kepala gangster yang tak puas hati, yang bagi dia tak cukup untuk setakat pukul orang aja.
Yeah.
Dia sampai nak rodok 3-4 kali dengan petasan, whatever lah. You know, the other members might feel that pukul dah cukup, tapi bagi dia tak, selagi aku tak nampak orang tu jatuh, kepala tercabut ke apa, dia tak puas hati.
Yeah.
So I think this is what is happening right now.
But if that example you give, kepala gangster tu make that dia pakai tu.
Yalah.
Boleh relate lah. Kau boleh relate kan.
Tak bukan. Aku nak disclaimer.
Ya.
Pasal aku pakai apa example dia kasi.
Okay.
Faham. Aku faham kau boleh relate ni benda.
Jangan perangai. So okay, macam tadi, if you give that example,
Yeah.
that person acted on the other person based on anger. Okay, and something has inflict that anger on that person.
Triggered lah.
Triggered that anger, triggered the anger on that person, and out of anger, he went out of control and sampai nak rodok, sampai tak puas hati, aku nak tengok kepala cabut. Is pada aku lah.
I get what you mean.
Is a different scenario.
Correct.
And this scenario whereby bullying,
banyak victim dia diam.
and pada aku lah,
Tak melawan.
victim kau dah tak melawan.
Yeah.
Kau dah buat satu kali tak melawan,
Fair
dua
point.
kali tak
Fair
melawan.
point.
Masuk kali ketiga,
Difference,
masuk kali ketiga tak melawan. Daripada situ kau dah boleh nilai.
Fair point.
This person dia act blur live longer, ataupun dia memang naturally tak apalah, kau nak buat aku, kau buat aku berserah.
Redha.
Aku redha, aku berserah.
Tawakal.
I just get this and done and over with.
You see, we've all heard the type of stories that orang pernah ceritakan kita pasal bullies. Yang kita dulu pernah dengar one of the popular podcast, one of the famous podcaster pernah cerita dia dulu kat asrama kat Johor. Sampai dia punya senior suruh dia masak.
Yang sekarang ada podcast sorang-sorang.
Makan Maggi dekat baldi yang bekas rendam kasut, rendam baju
stokin ke
kotor,
apa,
rendam stokin
something,
and everything, ataupun air rendam stokin kena minum. Ya, itu diorang minum pasal apa? Pasal takut, and because it's many against one. So that might be one of the reasons this could that could lead to this lah. Because while not everyone in that group, that many yang take active part in executing this act of bullying, tapi as a victim mungkin macam yang buat ni seorang, tapi seorang ni is part of the
Dia datang
group.
ramai-ramai.
Datang ramai-ramai. Kalau aku melawan, aku dah kena gini rabat. Kalau aku melawan, mungkin aku akan kena lagi rabat daripada diorang semua.
Okay, you see, melawan dalam bullying doesn't mean you need to melawan on the spot.
Betul.
I
betul,
bet
betul,
if you ask that prominent figure juga, dia it doesn't mean that macam hari tu aku kena minum, hari tu aku nak kena fight dengan kau juga.
Betul.
Tak apa, hari ni kau kasi aku minum, aku kasi minum. But a normal human being, kau mesti akan fikir, cari solution, cari jalan.
Tapi tak semua tu. Tak semua.
Ya, memang tak semua. That's where datang kawan.
Yeah, correct.
Betul lah.
I mean, I can agree
Kalau
with you.
kawan berharap
so-
lah.
Betul.
So nanti kau akan ada kau punya klik. So that's where you build your defense.
Aku rasa
But but macam Zara ni, kau bikin dia
Mana
gitu
kawan-kawan
gitu. Dia
Yeah.
tak ada, she don't even bother to. Okay, sorry, not say bother. She didn't even build apa yang aku baca lah. Dia tak ada macam
Dia
nak
tak
build
ada-
the defense.
Dia tak ada macam bilang cikgu ke apa, tak ada.
Tak ada. So far dia cuma complain dekat mak dia.
Ya,
And
the parents, ya.
Dia complain dekat mak dia. Dia ada voice note kat mak dia, and dia ada kasih serta nama. But bila dia bilang mak dia tu pun, in her voice note, dia pun cakap yang tak apa, dia akan go through this benda gini. Just don't want mak dia to risau. So daripada situ kau dah boleh read dia as a person yang apa satisfaction kau dapat Sul. Bully dia. Dia ibarat apa tau, kau ambil tu Big John, lepas tu kau rembat tu Big John gitu je.
Yalah. Sebab itulah.
Tu buat apa?
Bijon apa Zak?
Yang dummy.
Dami yang nak
Oh, nama John.
Big John. Big John. You see it gets worse when yalah, ada kawan, kadang-kadang kawan tak membantu. Mungkin kawan-kawan pun sama takut. But tak semua orang yang berani ataupun ada kekuatan untuk not only go against ataupun mempertahankan hak masing-masing, tapi the simple act of telling someone else about what they have gone through. Tak semua orang ada kekuatan macam itu. Taking for example victims of crimes, especially domestic abuse cases. You can have wives kena pukul bantai dalam rumah tangga and everything. Kita mungkin dia bilang kawan-kawan dia akan cakap sudah tinggalkan lelaki tu. Tapi at the end of the day tak sampai hati ataupun takut,
Tak ada
ataupun
intervention
fikir
lah.
anak-anak.
Ya.
Mungkin ada intervention, but the willingness of the victim is himself. So there's a lot of factors, and we won't know. Mungkin dia takut, ataupun mungkin dia macam dia tak kuasa. You never know. Ataupun mungkin dia ada bilang ke sesuatu channel yang but it fell on deaf ears. Because the reason why I say this is because just recently someone someone who I know came to me and cakap dengan aku pasal anak dia kena bully kat sekolah.
Okay.
It's emotional and verbal lah. Dah bilang ke cikgu kata okay, we'll take care of it. And whatever follow up that the teacher and the school is taking is just a slap on the wrist. Macam it's not even counselling, macam hey, don't do this anymore. That's it.
Verbal warning
So makin brazen lah, makin yang the assailant tu, si pelaku tu makin lagi besar kepala lah. So it escalates. Bila escalated, that's where the parent came berbual dengan aku, cakap nak buat apa. Aku cakap it's not as if kau terus terjun go up to the highest level apa. Kau dah bilang cikgu tak buat apa-apa. I mean, so it's only time lah in Singapore. You can, biasa lah orang Singapore email. Kau boleh email MOE, kau boleh CC to whoever, or better still if you
kalau pasal email aku tahu siapa yang bagus.
Kau diam macam.
Or even
Yang paling bagus.
the best case scenario is you can lodge a police report lah. Because a police report doesn't mean police intervention, but that police report can actually spark
A lot of things.
A lot of things internally.
And a lot of bodies to get involved.
Correct. So that is one of the few things that you can do in Singapore. Berbalik pada the recent local case yang budak-budak tu threaten.
Yeah. What happened to them?
Suspended and
They were
caning
suspended,
and everything lah.
yeah.
No, yeah. Budak-budak, orang kata budak-budak nakal and everything. They might not know the seriousness of the implications and everything.
Yeah.
But the only thing that is in my head right now is, mana budak-budak ni belajar buat gitu ni?
YouTube.
Is it because of the
TikTok.
exposure to all the social media influencers,
Banyak sangat tengok Taken.
the Western influencers? I won't say Asian baik, Westerners jahat, no. But is it because of all these
No,
exposures?
Just to touch on what you said. Orang kita selalu cakap Mas Salim punya influence tak baik. And kononnya macam
kononnya
Asian
lah.
side ni baik. Kau tak boleh samakan Westerners punya cara dengan kita punya cara. Diorang punya cara macam gitu, pada diorang is a norm.
Yep.
Bila diorang berbual macam gitu, is a norm. Pasal diorang punya English dengan kita punya English is another level.
Yeah. Correct.
So kau tak boleh cakap yang diorang tu bad influence.
Ya, ada maki-maki pun bagi orang normal. Berbual dengan family, mak bapak pun maki-maki.
Panggil bapak
Nama.
nama
Kau
dia.
try lah. Masa kecil-kecil kau panggil bapak kau nama. Nama kau ni kau lupa so nanti.
And diorang been practicing macam gitu. So kau tak boleh samakan lah.
So it brings back to the point where with the current progression of technology and exposure, berbalik pada kita sebagai orang dewasa, sebagai mak bapak, orang dewasa yang around children, we have to play a very important role in shaping these children, and to tell them, not to tell them what is right, what is wrong, but to at least let them know what is acceptable and what is totally not acceptable in our local context tau.
True.
Korang rasa apa yang nak kena start balik?
In Singapore,
In
in Asian context or Singapore context?
education context.
No, Singapore context.
Apa
Corporal
nak kena?
punishment.
No.
Oh.
Caning, okay, bagi aku caning is a must.
Okay.
Caning is a must. Suspension is a must. Why I say this? Aku pernah kerja kat sekolah. Aku pernah jadi discipline master.
Yang pergi sekolah suruh basah-basah.
Kena tai. And kau tahu tak, suspension, budak-budak ni, they see suspension as a given holiday.
Betul? Setuju?
Betul.
Setuju?
So instead of just suspension kosong-kosong, instead of let's say kau suspend budak-budak ni 2 minggu, jangan cakap dengan dia 2 minggu duduk rumah je. Budak-budak happy duduk rumah main game, tengok TikTok and everything. Ni 2 minggu kau perah dia punya tenaga,
Bikin community
community
work.
service.
Yes. Betul.
Buat apa? Datang sekolah, pungut sampah
Ya.
pun jadi.
Maruah jatuh.
Betul.
Maruah jatuh.
Dulu kan kau buang kau
CWO lah.
CWO
Littering offence. Third offences onwards.
Detention pun kena buat.
Because it doesn't give you the liberty of time. Dia bukan kasih kau free holiday, and at the same time betul dia jatuhkan maruah kau. Yes, it might sound cruel, but this is the only way for them to learn. But the problem with the community nowadays, with the system nowadays is, cannot, this is too harsh.
Too harsh.
Yes.
That's Too harsh.
Too harsh, brother.
Kau belum kena pukul dengan orang
Even
tu.
the words that we use, we cannot meet out punishment. The word punishment cannot be used anymore in school context.
Then
Corrective measures tu, lana. Kau dah ugut mak bapak orang, you still want to implement corrective measures. This is what's happening to the case. Tak cukup lah.
What lagi sekali?
Pendek tu.
Tak, bukan. Sama macam yang National Day juga.
Aku tak ada expression. You know, that is what is happening to this case. Because first time this thing was escalated, punishment will meted out to these students. But it was just a slap on the wrist. Budak-budak tu macam, setakat ni je. And they continue to do it. And not only do it, they are doing more of it. Worse. But this time round, when things got escalated all the way to the media, to the minister, to whoever, baru nak kalang kabut, nak punishment, nak public caning. Hopefully it's not too little too late lah. But benda ni semua boleh can be avoided. Because if it's given right from the start, macam dulu time kita,
betul.
letak kat asap rokok kena sebat.
Sebab
Balik rumah refer to mak bapak sebat kita.
lagi.
Sama, double punishment.
Double.
But right now the one of the key issues is they don't want to be double whammy. They don't want double punishment. Kalau budak-budak ni dah kena marah, dah kena pukul mungkin kan. Diorang tak nak macam, you know, something that can be deemed as a double punishment to them. So bagi aku bottom line is budak-budak sekarang ataupun the system sekarang too soft on the children, on the students.
Why I ask you this question? Pada aku sistem tak salah.
Okay.
Why though? It all starts from the home.
Agree?
Agree.
Agree also?
Why the system turn soft?
Mak bapak punya salah.
Ranjat aku celaka pakai iPhone.
Aku tu toleh.
Mak bapak apa salah? Ya.
So why the system turn soft? Because of the new generations of parents.
Yeah.
Ya.
One of the reason is aku tak nak anak aku go through apa aku go through.
Fair enough.
Tapi pada aku lah, the silap, okay, benda tu tak salah.
Betul.
Kau can use that statement for kau tak nak anak kau hustle macam kau.
Betul.
Kau tak nak anak kau go through finance punya hardship.
Setuju.
Kau tak nak anak kau go through whereby have to pergi sekolah pakai kasut sama for the next 5 years.
Kau bedek kau sebulan sekali tukar kasut.
Ini example.
Okay.
Lain macam aku pakai rambut busuk,
Kasut
paci.
Kau lain, kau gangster tetangga.
Okay, salah. Gangster tetangga.
So itu, if you use that statement, aku tak nak anak aku go through,
Setuju.
totally aku akan support kau 100%.
Yeah.
Tapi kalau kau cakap, kau use that statement as, aku dulu dah tengok kawan kawan kena caning.
Bos kat nampak. Kawan kening. Kawan kena caning. Kawan kening.
Kau kening.
Kawan kena caning.
Dia semenjak ada apa banyak angin ni banyak sokat kan.
Aku kena caning, aku kena detention. So aku tak nak anak aku go through that.
Yalah.
Pada aku itu salah. So
I think that sentiments also feel that way, kan? Yeah.
So kenapa sistem tu jadi soft is because the new generation of parents kat rumah
Betul.
is not holding the fortress. Sorry, aku bukan nak ajar korang parenting.
Betul.
It's just apa aku feel.
You know why? The current sentiments of a lot of educators out there, diorang rela, diorang okay handle budak-budak punya masalah. Tapi bila datang hal masalah nak kena deal dengan parents, suka barang leceh tu. So bila benda-benda gini, parents akan datang. Dulu kita buat hal, parents datang sekolah, kasih lagi.
Yeah, I was go back to go here.
Correct.
So one example yang okay, aku bukan nak ajar korang parenting, once again aku cakap but korang compare sendiri dulu mak bapak kita turun sekolah dengan sekarang kita dengar kawan-kawan kita yang ada anak bila diorang turun sekolah, apa dia punya conversation. Macam aku, mak aku akan bilang cikgu aku,
Yes.
cikgu, kalau dia buat salah, cikgu rotan je dia. Cikgu
Saya
sebat
kasih
je.
kebenaran.
Saya kasih cikgu kebenaran, saya amanahkan cikgu. Amanahkan cikgu
dia
untuk rotan
Dia datang bawa knife set lagi mak kau. Cikgu pilih je mana satu nak campak.
Pergi ngaji. Dia
Bekalkan rotan.
dia punya hantaran simple je. Beli rotan satu atau bulu ayam.
Betul.
And tu bulu ayam yang akan sebat kau balik.
Yes.
Kau beli kasih dia, tu bulu ayam akan sebat kau balik.
Senjata makan tuan. Yes.
And sekarang apa aku dengar from aku punya generations yang dah jadi parents, apa salah cikgu nak kena buat macam ni
Yeah.
Apa nak aku buat sampai teruk macam ni must touch my son, my daughter So pada aku is, kalau kau buat dia jadi macam gitu, mana dia nak belajar mana betul mana
Kau dah
salah.
jadi overprotective tau. At the same time kau nak kena instill that apa entah. Aku okay. At the same time aku agree apa dia cakap. Aku agree yang aku tak nak anak-anak aku hadapi apa yang aku hadapi.
Betul.
The hardship that I go through. Aku kalau boleh nak selindung diorang apa yang aku dah alami.
Betul.
Including bullying. Jadi aku preempt diorang what not to do, what to do, what to avoid.
Jangan jadi
preempt.
ekspor bergerak.
Ya, tu. But at the same time, aku pun instill that discipline.
Of
Apa
course.
yang mak bapak aku dah turunkan
course.
kepada aku.
Of course.
Pasal aku learn, aku sekarang apa aku ni sekarang because of my parents.
Of course.
Macam mana diorang ajar aku. Jadi aku ada pergi ada balik. You have to have that balance lah. Kau jangan sampai semua kau overprotective dengan anak-anak kau diorang takkan belajar. They won't understand what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong.
Okay.
What is compassion, what is empathy. Diorang tak tahu nanti.
So macam very simple. Dulu duduk macam gini kau sit across kau punya parents. Tak payah ada bunyi bro. Diorang tengah berbual pasal buku Airborne, diorang gini je. Sibuk boleh kencing lah saya dalam seluar.
Betul.
Sekarang kau toleh tengok budak-budak sekarang, kau suruh mak bapak diorang toleh tengok diorang.
Sebab buku Evo boleh minta ajit.
Diorang boleh question what?
Yeah, correct.
What? I play only what? I use my phone only what? Roblox only what? So the difference tu kat situ tau. So korang nak cakap yang korang, sorry once again, aku bukan nak ajar parenting. I'm not someone who's credible enough to teach parenting pun. But from this example, korang cakap korang instill discipline when budak tu boleh question korang macam gitu. So where does the discipline lies?
That's where kau nak disiplin, tapi at the same time the one yang kena disiplin tu you need to give them why you are being punished.
And itu
as a
very
parent.
penting tau.
Itu sekarang punya parents. Kalau dulu parents kan pukul je. Dia takkan bilang kau kenapa kau salah, pasal apa kau salah.
Yes, betul.
Different.
Tapi how many anak-anak yang turn out bad because of that behaviour?
Correct. So you see, there's contrasting effects. Kau buat macam gini pun kalau tak betul-betul salah, kau buat gini tak betul-betul salah. I am not saying entirely apa yang parents nowadays buat salah.
Kerja dia berat tau ni.
Okay. Tapi there's only one logical way for you to know whether what you're doing is correct or not.
Okay.
You need to see whether your way, cara apa pun sekali kau buat, you need to see whether it is effective or not. Sebab tak semua budak-budak sama.
Betul.
Mungkin lah satu budak kau beliak mata dah cukup untuk kita kencing.
Dah cukup.
Mungkin satu budak ni kau dah beliak mata tak cukup, kau nak kena action nak hayun tangan baru dia tu. Mungkin lagi satu budak ni kau dah swing macam mana pun dia tetap ketahukan kau. So you must, it's not a one size fit all follow up action tau. So as a parent, as an adult lah, I mean the only way for you to know whether your way is effective or not is to have some form of feedback. And feedback ni dari segi apa? Dari segi cikgu-cikgu, mungkin daripada kawan-kawan. It might seem trivial tau, tapi mungkin kalau satu hari, dua hari kawan-kawan anak kau ambil anak kau balik sekolah, Auntie, your son always throw his barang-barang at me. Mungkin sekali dua kali budak-budak. Tapi kalau benda tu dah 3-4 budak bilang kau benda yang sama-sama, you know something is not right.
Correct.
So as an adult, as a parent, you cannot be too defensive and too egoistic macam cakap cara aku je betul. Because if somebody tell you that there is something wrong with your child or what, you must tell yourself that my current way is not effective enough. I must relook at the way and I must actually try to change it for the better of siapa, for the sake of anak-anak juga. That is my opinion.
But aku agree that this bullying ni sometimes you have to look at not just the surface, but you kena tengok background budak tu juga.
Betul.
Dari situ kau nampak
Totally
okay.
agree.
Sometimes because of what they are going through, traumatic experience, diorang nak keluarkan channel tu, diorang keluarkan benda lain. So it happens a lot of time.
All this intervention techniques seperti counselling and everything, it's useful also.
Aku ada satu suggestion untuk Singapore ni. Kalau kita nak buat satu program untuk anti-bullying, anti-bullying, dia macam kawan Canning lah. Kawan keling. So we should do like a macam buddy system.
Okay.
Buddy system tu, okay, let's say it can be this group of individuals chosen by the school or whoever lah, and they are the enforcer of the school.
Okay.
Kira kalau kau dengar satu orang ni kena bully, diorang ni ramai-ramai akan datang and apprehend that bully, stop that bullying.
So diorang buat
gitu.
policing punya kerja kat
Policing
dalam.
okay, one very good example aku pernah ingat dulu, ada satu budak ni je autistic tak salah aku. It happens in America. And dia selalu kena bully, orang semua pulaukan je. What happened was the captain of the football team made sure every one of his team mates makan sama-sama. And they go pergi mana-mana pun dengan sama-sama. And that is effective pasal orang-orang yang sekeliling bila nampak gini macam dia orang tak berani nak bully tu budak. Okay. Dia orang macam they have that protective barrier je.
Yeah, understand.
So you should do a program like this, macam you have a buddy system.
Yeah, like
I
read recently. I read a similar story dekat TikTok about this little girl. Dia so dia tak nak pergi sekolah.
Okay.
So dia every day dekat depan rumah dia, mak dia akan ada problem dengan dia, akan go to and fro.
Oh serious lah
dengan dia pasal dia tak nak pergi sekolah.
Why?
So sana standard is dorang ada this yellow bus akan ambil depan rumah apa. So
Bas
whenever
sekolah macam kita lah.
so whenever is
Dia punya wheels on the bus goes up and down.
go round and round.
Okay.
Wheels on the bus go up and down. Busy pula gini-gini.
Dia lain. Bas je lain.
You jangan you.
So happen aku tak ingat macam mana dia happen exactly, aku dah lupa. But met with a group of bikers.
Yes.
So
semua bikers kau tahu.
They approach this girl and then found out that dia tak nak pergi sekolah pasal dia kawan dia name calling, not body shaming, just
teasing and everything.
Teasing, yes, that's the word. So diorang cakap okay, kau tak ada orang nak protect kau kan, so tak apa, hari ni kita tunjuk sekolah kau ni siapa. So
correct.
Dia panggil the whole team to come down. Diorang kasih
American bikers kan. Diorang yang macam yang Harley Davidson kan,
Power Ranger gitu lah.
Power Ranger gila babi. So diorang tu cool je.
So diorang taruh dia dekat the first bike as a pillion. Yang lain semua ikut. Diorang bawa dia pergi sampai betul-betul dekat depan drop off point sekolah.
Dia macam besar mencong gitu kan.
So bila dia sampai sekolah, everybody was stunned. And because of that, after that day, dekat dalam sekolah tu, life dia was peaceful. And the biker that told the story say until this date, budak tu dah 20 lebih tahun ke apa, still standing the whole club postcard. And they call the girl call them leather angels.
That's a good story. I think maybe as a first step, kau nak kena ada that buddy system.
Correct.
But the school have to identify that. Macam kita pergi army pun, kita ada buddy system.
Correct. But
why not?
To touch on your suggestion tadi Manam, I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but we have to also be careful that putting it simply in the words of our Spider-Man, with great powers come great responsibilities. Because as teenagers, as young adults, dia senang-senang boleh power trip lah. So macam if you must be careful not to give this authority, this empowerment to the wrong people, because if it's given to the wrong into the wrong hands, can easily be power trip, power abuse lah.
Understand?
Yeah. So the system, there's like I said again, there's no foolproof system, foolproof method that can address everything. Tapi one thing for sure, as adults, as educators, as parents, we must be receptive, we must be open to feedbacks. Bukan untuk kita tapi untuk budak-budaknya juga. So bila kita dapat tahu, misal kata I might not even be a parent, I might even be a principal. Kalau budak orang datang kat sekolah, datang kat aku bilang, principal, you are one of your students macam ini bully. The first thing that I need to do is find out To find out. Mak, busy sah.
Terus scanning.
Sebab dulu baru tanya
Bikin dulu baru berbual
lah.
Salah orang.
Dia lain lah. Dia kalau jadi bapa, dia daripada lain.
No, because
kau nak kena faham cara dia lain dengan cara kita. Dia tak one size fits all.
I can understand because a lot of these educators, they one important thing that they need to look at is also reputation. Takut sekolah busuk nama. Takut ranking system and everything, whatever, all this meritocracy lah. So if that concern sampai affect your ability to carry out the proper intervention, I guess it's not right lah.
Okay, I agree. Tapi benda tu cuma jadi sekarang je.
Now lah, I'm talking about now.
Dulu bila kita punya parents will go to school, cakap tak apa teacher, dia buat jahat, pukul je. Kalau sekolah tu dah memang bagus, number one, tetap dia ranking number one.
Betul.
So that's why aku cakap at the end of the day, it still go back to home. And macam tadi, macam Manap cakap, aku pun pernah cakap benda ni, and aku go through my own self. Yang kau, okay, pada aku mak bapak aku punya time, cara diorang disiplin aku dah betul. Cuma ada kurang. Kurang dia is diorang tak explain apa salah aku.
Faham.
Okay.
You haven't talked about this before.
Diorang tak explain apa salah aku, and diorang tak kasih aku the solution out of aku punya mistake.
Yalah.
So they make me find my own solution, they make me find my own answer.
Pasal dia tak mak bapak dia tak explain je apa salah je. So dia masuk salah.
Kau bawa sampai sana ke?
Jadi dia tahu mana salah je.
I guess
pasal kau perangai suka kasih orang langgar-langgar, sebab tu kau pun perangai juga.
Itu.
I think we have this apa yang kita kongsikan dalam episod ni.
Tapi aku kalau anak kau kena bully, what will you both have done? Kalau anak kau ni jadi pembuli, dan anak kau yang kena bully.
Kalau anak aku kena bully, aku pergi sekolah, aku make sure the sekolah will go all out to find who the bully is, and to go all out to make sure that justice is served lah, so called.
Let's say kau tengok yang ada viral tu, budak tu kena rimbat kat staircase.
Musibuk kau cari siul.
Macam mana?
Okay,
itu ada kan yang satu orang kena rimbat budak tu.
Okay.
Kalau budak tu yang kena rimbat tu anak kau,
aku punya first question always is towards aku punya anak sendiri. Okay, because why aku berani cakap benda ni, aku watch both aku punya niece dengan nephew grow up, and bila diorang pergi sekolah, they have come back with stories such as bila sampai kat telinga aku benda tu dah use strong words such as kena extort. In primary school tau.
Kena extort.
Kena extort, orang curi duit, theft of money, this kind of thing.
Okay.
But before aku even cakap untuk pergi sekolah, aku ask the person itself dulu, kau buat apa? Pasal there must be something that trigger.
Contributing factor.
Contributing factor. So macam kalau kau cakap example, yang kena rembat kat tangga tu anak aku, benda dah jadi apa, so aku mesti kena ambil anak aku dulu. Tu number one. First, second, aku akan tanya, apa spark ni benda?
Mungkin anak jalan sat-sat ke,
siapa bersalah dulu?
Okay.
Kalau anak aku buat salah, aku akan determine aku punya self berapa rabak tu salah. Kalau salah dia setakat macam
terlanggar,
dekat kantin angkat dulang terlanggar, kena rembat, tu benda tak wajar.
Yalah.
Not justifiable enough untuk kau rembat dia ramai-ramai.
Betul. But at that context, anak kau kena apa pun anak kau buat salah pun, it doesn't justify the punishment. Tak sepatutnya dia kena macam itu. Apa pun salah pun.
Betul.
Kalau kau cakap langgar macam whatever it is lah, that the punishment yang dia
of course,
dapat.
that's why mak cakap must be proportionate to the.
So that's why aku cakap aku akan tanya dulu. Okay, the only reason kenapa aku nak kena tanya dulu, pasal anak aku sendiri nak kena tahu dia salah ke betul. Sebelum aku tunjuk dia example yang kau kena, aku mesti cari siapa bikin kau.
Okay.
Pasal kalau aku tak bilang dia salah, bila dia salah, aku tak bilang dia betul. Bila
Mana
dia betul,
silap dia, apa yang dia boleh perbaiki.
Dia akan tahu, dia akan fikir dalam kepala otak dia, aku buat hal kat luar, bapa aku akan keluar muka untuk aku.
Okay.
So aku buat apa dalca kat luar pun, aku buat apa taib pun, bapa aku akan keluar untuk aku. So bila masa dia nak tahu bila betul, bila salah.
Okay.
Correct, fine. Kau pula?
Aku, wow. Aku rasa honestly, aku pernah talk to this thing dengan anak aku bila mereka masih primary school, secondary school. Both of them lah. Aku,
semua macam banyak
pasal diorang macam ada 10 gitu kan.
Tu masalah.
Lebih dari satu banyak lah.
Tu anaknya aku tahu kan.
Oh, yeah.
Anak kucing lagi ada.
Yang kat tangga buang-buang ni.
Yo, syul. So,
lap kat railing.
Aku tak nak sambung.
Stres. Sebaiknya tak dengar podcast.
Masalah kan.
So yang
keluarkan slipper.
apa mana aku cakap tadi? Yang keluarkan slipper aku sedang buat kerja, tak apa, it's okay. Aku tahu mana nak potong. Okay. So untuk aku pernah cakap ni benda dengan anak-anak aku. Kalau aku lagi worry kalau diorang kena bully. Pasal aku tak tahu, macam aku tahu pendirian aku ni, aku pay threshold berapa banyak, tapi anak aku pay threshold aku tak tahu whether they can retaliate ke tidak, atau are they willing to retaliate ke tidak, whether they are strong enough to overcome this.
Understand.
So bila orang pernah tanya aku, every time I see something like this, aku tunjuk orang apa yang harus korang buat in this situation.
Okay.
So the worst case scenario, aku selalu buat that worst case scenario dengan orang. If you are in this situation, apa kena buat? So so aku selalu ajar orang lah apa
What
nak,
to
macam
do
mana
lah.
what to do lah.
That's why you see on TikTok, there's a lot of parents who came out and say diorang dah ajar anak-anak diorang to fight back. It might not be the correct thing, but at least they are doing something about it lah.
Pasal apa? Okay, there's also an incident kat IT kau tahulah. Yang mana tersebar, yang mana
tak tersebar
tak
banyak.
tersebar tu banyak bro. Banyak. So
Yang jalan bawa roti tu
masih ada dia tu dah keluar
dah keluar.
Dah keluar. Yeah. So aku keep saying this to them, kalau in the event kau masih bernyawa, macam mana pun kau nak kena fight juga.
Of course.
Pasal kau dah tersepit, you got nothing else already. Pada aku dah nothing else. At least mesti nak dapat evidence. Dapat satu cukup. Pasal kalau dah ramai, obviously kalau aku ramai pun tak boleh kan. Jadi macam mana satu pun nak kena, at least dapatkan satu, at least ada evidence, at least polis, kalau kau mati pun polis tahu siapa yang bikin. They will find that person. Itu je. So itu je lah worst case scenario aku selalu ceritakan anak aku semua macam mana.
Bagi aku pula, I must make sure that all the processes are done properly to ensure that justice is done. Allahu Rabbi, busy betul aku cakap aku ni. I must ensure that all processes are done correctly to ensure that justice is done. But at the same time, I must also find the cause of the thing. Macam tadi Maun cakap juga. Kalau anak aku yang penyebab pencetus,
correct. Then this
whatever that engkau dapat, I must make sure that I must impress upon you that you deserve it.
Betul.
But then again, you must see the proportion of what is given and what is
Betul.
taken lah.
Nah, tengok apa yang pergi balik.
But at the same time, most importantly, like what tadi kau cakap mana, you must impress upon your children that what they need to do when this type of thing happen. If let's say it's unprovoked attacks or bullying and everything, the very least you need to do is to tell your teachers, tell your parents, tell your friends. I think most of the students, most of these budak-budak takut nak bilang, tak nak bilang pasal takut malu.
Peer pressure pun boleh
Peer
sebab
pressure,
bro.
takut kena colour. Salah kau sikit-sikit bilang mak, sikit-sikit bilang cikgu. If nothing is done, when something happen, bila dah terlambat, kau keluar nangis air mata darah pun tak guna.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
We hope that benda ni will be, kita tak boleh totally eradicate, tak boleh totally hapuskan benda ni. Like what we've said, we have grown up with this. It seems to be like a norm at that point of time. It will always be, tak banyak sikit pun, gonna be part of growing up.
Yeah.
But what we can do is actually to make sure that if these things happen, our children will know what to do, and it's kept under control lah.
Kita bad enough kalau kita tahu anak kita kena bully, itu dah bad enough. Tapi kalau kita tahu yang anak kita yang bully orang ni, oi bro, macam mana pula tu? There's another thing altogether. Where have you, then you will question,
Mana silapnya?
Mana silap aku aku buat macam ni? Apa aku dah tunjukkan yang dia jadi macam ni? So itu lain topik. But kita summarize sikit. So kita summarize the root cause of jadi pembuli ni atau kena bully ni. It start from home, betul. Jadi parents play a huge
correct
factor in untuk didik anak-anak semua. Dari situ diorang belajar, dari situ diorang didik, then they will grow up to mesti nak tahu instinct dengan diorang which is good, which is bad lah. Itu important. Reasons dia pun nak kena faham juga.
Sorry, just a short run, very short run.
Short.
Fight back. Wrong or right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But must be proportionate.
Yeah. Dia tak boleh sembarang fight back lah, sembarang.
Pada aku fight back dia tak ada proporsi apa dia punya proportion dia. Because the word fight back itself is you are being attacked or provoked.
There is no actually.
No, I mean aku punya point of view aku punya point of view atau aku punya personal opinion is as long as there's a trigger factor, there's a provocation,
betul.
There is an attack on you, fight back is a must.
Tapi jangan sampai dia biar proportionate lah. Jangan sampai dia setakat maki kau dah patahkan tangan dia tu tak boleh lah.
Yes, bila berapa banyak fight back itu ada proportionate.
Yalah.
Dia maki mak dia balik je lah.
Fair enough.
Tak bagi bapak.
Tak lah.
So budak tu mak dia dah meninggal. Mak dia dah meninggal bagi bapak.
Lagi sedap.
Betul juga.
Lagi sedap.
Itu kalau dah tak proportionate pasal mak aku dah meninggal tak boleh.
Tak boleh. Lagi sedap mak kau hijau.
Okay, buat macam Piramli lah. Ni kepala bapak kau. Nah, ni kepala bapak kau. Kau berani kau pegang gitu.
Dia macam example kau being attacked. Kau dapat sebiji, kasih balik sebiji ah.
Ya, betul. Sebiji kat mana tu tak tahulah.
Nasib lah.
Rezeki masing-masing.
Janji kasih balik. Because pada aku why fight back tak fight back is right is because kalau kau tak fight back, you might be the next one yang turn out jadi Zara.
Or you can stand your ground. Kadang-kadang bila orang kita diangkat orang pijak kepala. Jadi kadang-kadang kita nak kena retaliate sikit, nak tunjukkan kita. Jadi nak kena ada sikit.
Dia tak payah berani tau. Dia just kau tunjuk macam tu aku pun boleh pump kau so dah tu je. Lepas tu dia dah jalan, kau nak menggigil ke, kau nak kencing
kau seorang besok, aku besok kau tak ingat gitu kan.
Dah pusing, back dah facing each other, kau nak menggigil, kau nak kencing tu belakang cerita.
Betul.
Ya. Okay. Aku tahu satu benda yang kita tak perlu fight back, iaitu promosi kita bersama dengan Dear Elegance Events. Jadi boleh sertakan promo code ya. Dia Elegance and Events, dia M&M untuk dapatkan potongan harga $200 off setiap packages yang mereka pamerkan. Okay. Jadi episod hari ini dibawakan khas untuk anda oleh Dear Elegance Events. Boleh call 8452-3769-8452-3769 ataupun korang boleh semua lungsuri di laman social media mereka Dear Elegance, itu TikTok, Instagram @Dear Elegance, Facebook Dear Elegance Events, dan juga boleh email mereka ya untuk keterangan lanjut Dear Elegance Events @gmail.com. Dan juga mereka juga berikan perkhidmatan yang seterusnya, caterer, events planner, wedding planner, corporate events, birthday parties, wedding decoration, rental of table and chairs. Okay, then diorang juga ada promo code diorang. Promo code apa jadi? Promo code
Dia M&M.
Kau suruh buat kerja.
Tak apa lah, sementara kan.
Tiba-tiba rajin.
Kalau aku kasih banyak-banyak tu ingat aku bully.
Dia M&M. Dia M&M
Dia M&M $200 off.
Spelling?
DEARMNM.
Dia Elegant Services,
creating your magical dreams.
Itu saja daripada kami buat kali ini.
Jangan bully korang. Aku rembat kau.
Itu pun bully juga.
Okay.
Diharapkan dengan perkongsian kita dapat dah sedikit sebanyak menjadikan apa-apa macam iktibar.
Betul.
Kalau ada apa salah-salah cakap ke apa, kita minta maaf sebab kenapa ni semua kita punya opinion lah.
Yes.
Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Sorry.
Aku tengah-tengah middle of beri salam kau potong apa?
Kau tak cakap Mi Malik nak semua.
Tak ada apa
Memang tak ada.
closing mana ada?
Okay.
Dia dah terrajin dah.
Lah ni. Belum dah habis ni. Dia tanya dah nak habis.
Dah habis.
Okay, kalau dah habis tadi. Sekian daripada kami. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
May peace be upon you. Parpon.
Made your
Macam nak baca.
creating your
diam lah.
Yo, anak mau datang lagi. Suara dari hati. Budak SD mari sini. Bawa cinta, bawa arti. Yo, mic check.